Hello and welcome to David's World and Gaming on Islands again. Now, as you remember, we started with a brand new island and I showed you how to set up certain quick things to get going. Now we've accelerated and moved on to the state that we are currently in. So let's have a look quickly, well, maybe not so quickly, at what's been done. One, I set up the 20 tree harvesting so you can get wood, changing the trees for the type of wood that you want. I've also moved the sawmill to right beside the trees, so after I'm finished collecting and replanting and I end up behind me on that last tree over here, I can just come up here and saw the wood. Once I've done the wood, I can then just go to this side of the workbench and make the item, which recently more case has been the in-out chests, and they were my starting point for the production. So that was the tree side of the chests. I set up over here the industrial bit, and I set up the iron collection going through a smelter, which I bought using all the cry iron and gold which I got from a couple of hours of farming on the islands. And that's not a simple task to get onto the island and get the key to get on, because the first thing that you can make as a weapon is the sword, and the sword does need a lot of hits before it will kill anything, so you can get the key to get onto the Buffalo Island, which is where the gold and the iron are in more numbers, more greater numbers. So I also set up a coal collection point, because you require large amounts of coal, and as you see, I have quite a lot of it now. Past that, when I got a second smelter much later on, that now does the clay to the bricks. So as you see below my feet, the ground is changing to brick, and after this video and all the collection of my stone that I've been doing for the time I've had it, I can then change from stone to the brick, which just looks a bit better. But you will of course start your island with either the brick, with the clay brick standard stone itself, because a stone totem costs a lot less, or you do have the option, which would be even cheaper. So this is my stone, and I set it up like this straight away. One piece of the conveyor and two standard chests, and the stone goes into there, taking up less space and cutting down the time to harvest. But there is the option, if you go on to the first island, is to get just the bamboo, and you can plant that on your island. Doesn't cost anything. And as you see, this here, the chest is on, this are the bamboo blocks that you can turn this bamboo into at your workstation, and so you can do that for technically nothing, because you can just go and harvest and make these blocks for a lot less. So you could just do your whole island with that and it would be cheaper. From this, we also, much later on, just recently, I ended up with enough starfruit seed from harvesting off the island, and another player sold the totem for 100k. To buy them, they're 150. They're very expensive. They're not worth really getting unless you can get them reduced. But I started off more in this section. I got a washer, so therefore I am now producing the tomatoes clean to make the tomato sauce and the pizza, which is technically, I think, the more better things to start off with. My second group of ones here, this is the bread production, and of course you need a food processor to do that. We have set out, get that down so you can see, 8 wheat totems and 8 things. Of course, I know fine well, because of the test, that we will have losses on the wheat, but not as much at the minute. I think it's just due to how many conveyors I currently have. And we produce bread. The bread is totally and solely for doing the avocado toast, which gives a good value back as well. So you move up, and as we said, I wanted to see if I could make a more efficient island than my big first account was, and this is much smaller island. I don't have any big house. I don't have any of my big giant pyramids, but as you see, we have the fields and we have the path along the fields, and we plant the trees 10 apart. These could be closer, but at the minute I've just got them for 10 apart just to give me some distance. I have them down both sides of the field, so therefore we can go up one side and down the other. Once again, I started off with 1 of each tree, and now got up to this number, which is a decent number. Whenever I get harvest any seeds, I plant them here. I've had a lot more yellow seeds given than red, and of course blue I've had hardly any in relative to the rest. But I've planted any ones where I've got seed packets, I've planted them here. But your aim, and the only way you can get up to my amount of money, is to sell items. So make stuff that people will buy that doesn't cost you a lot. The industrial oven, that's fairly easy to make, and that's 120. I've sold about 4 or 5 of those. My in-out chests go pretty well, which gives me 50k a time. So you just have to put in items which give you a decent amount of money back. You cannot just put in items like selling something for 3 or 4 coin, because you will never get big money doing that. Yes, there is times when I will put in a low value item because someone has asked for it, but I won't go out of my way to have all my machines having that type of item in, because the machines cost a lot of money to buy or make in the first place. They have a high value, so you need to have an item in them that will help recoup some cost if you're buying them. If you're going to farm for them and get the crystallized iron, get the gold and make them, they are fairly inexpensive, as long as you can stay on the island for at least an hour to do farming, then you're fine. But there is no quick fix for this. You will need to spend time farming, selling product, and coming back and building up from a low start point and up and get to where you need to go. So that's my island. Watch the rest of the videos that I have coming out, and we will see you again on the next video. So bye for now.